In 1928, this can of corn was replaced by sliced bread as the symbol of innovation and entrepreneurship in America. This is the story about thinking inside the bread box. Without Otto Rohwedder, the Iowa inventor of the bread slicer, no one would have ever proclaimed, "It's the best thing since sliced bread." What was it about serving our most basic food in a different way after 5,000 years that captured our imagination? Was it Madison Avenue or our huge appetite for peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? Our story starts in St. Joseph, Missouri, at the start of the 20th century. Otto Rohwedder owned 3 jewelry stores. He came home from work one day in 1912 and told his wife that he had come up with the best thing since canned corn, the bread slicer. Rohwedder sold his jewelry stores, packed up and moved back to his childhood hometown of Davenport, Iowa. It took several years to design and build prototypes for the commercial bread slicer. Rohwedder was ahead of his time. It would take 16 years to get his iconic product to market and over 20 years for it to become an overnight success. The first challenge Rohwedder had was the resistance to change. Bakers and consumers did not like the idea. They thought that sliced bread would dry out too quickly, and they were right. The early versions of sliced bread were held together with large pins. Later versions used rubber bands. In 1915, Rohwedder's doctor advised him to retire because the doctor thought Rohwedder only had a short time to live. Rohwedder refused to quit. After investing 5 years in his life savings, disaster struck when a fire destroyed Rohwedder's small factory, destroying everything, including his blueprints. That was 1917. He would have to start over. It took him 10 years to get enough investment to give it another try. In 1927, Rohwedder sold the first bread slicing machine to a friend who had a nearly bankrupt bakery in Chillicothe, Missouri. That first bread slicer went into operation in 1928. It saved the bakery, and it saved Rohwedder. Rohwedder needed something to wrap the bread in to keep it fresh. Plastic bags weren't invented until 1957, but cellophane had been invented in 1926. The Chillicothe Baking Company sold the new product as sliced, clean, made bread. It was sold in a cardboard tray wrapped in cellophane. The mass production of toasters was important. After the introduction of sliced bread, the sale of toasters exploded. However, the toaster took even longer to get to market than sliced bread. The first patents were filed in 1906. The toaster had to wait 23 years for sliced bread. It took several years of education to convince consumers and bakers of the benefits of ready-to-serve sliced bread. In 1930, the Continental Baking Company started a national advertising campaign to promote the convenience of sliced bread. Can you guess the name of that product? It was Wonder Bread. They added vitamins and minerals and sold it as a superfood. By 1933, only 5 years after its introduction, American bakeries were turning out more sliced bread than unsliced bread. Wonder Bread targeted women as a way to improve their vitality and stamina. The ads read, "I eat 2 slices of Wonder Bread for energy with every meal." I saw it in a Wonder Bread ad, and believe me, it works. Sliced bread became immensely popular, and a lot of people were upset when it was banned in 1943 by the U.S. government. It was in order to save steel for the war effort. And it also gave the troops another reason to fight. Why has the best thing since sliced bread cliche endured? Why not the light bulb, telephone, TV, or automobile? They were more potent products that changed lives and consumer behavior forever. Surely Henry Ford, Alexander Graham Bell, and Thomas Edison contributed more to American innovation. So why Rohwedder and the bread slicer? Was it because of the potential for sarcasm in the phrase, the best thing since sliced bread? Was sliced bread the champion of innovation or the beneficiary of clever advertising? Actually, it was the advertising.
Here's how to help build strong bodies 8 ways.
Eat Wonder Bread. You want to grow bigger and stronger, don't you?
Golly, sure.
Okay. A sandwich daily and 2 slices of Wonder Bread every meal give you 8 elements you need. As much muscle-building protein as roast beef, as much calcium for bones and teeth as cottage cheese, as much phosphorus for cell metabolism as this egg, as much iron for red blood as 3 lamb chops, as much vitamin B1 for appetite as fried liver, as much vitamin B2 for growth as this much cheese, as much niacin for mental health as 6 sardines, as much energy as 2 glasses of milk. That's why you can help yourself grow bigger and stronger 8 ways with Wonder Bread. I mean grow bigger and stronger 8 ways.
So be sure to eat Wonder Bread.
Get Wonder Bread fresh at your grocer's today.
While the sliced bread cliche has endured, the story of the Iowan entrepreneur and the great effort needed to bring this product to market had been forgotten. You may be wondering if Rohwedder got rich. Not really. He was an above-average inventor, but below-average entrepreneur. He sold his invention to the Micro Wesco Company of Bettendorf, Iowa, and became vice president and general manager of the Rohwedder Bakery Machine Division in 1933. He worked there until he was 71. Aren't you glad Otto Rohwedder from Davenport, Iowa invented the bread slicer so that we could compare every other invention to it? You may be wondering why a jeweler was dabbling in the commercial bread baking business in the first place. It goes to show that training or previous experience aren't required in order to invent, innovate, or start a new business. And even the greatest inventions don't get to the market overnight.